Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. I'm Emilia from Group 7 and I will be presenting introduction and background of selected location. Before discussing our case study, I would like to briefly explain Occupational Safety and Health or OSH. According to the World Health Organization, occupational safety and health plays an important role in ensuring that workplace and public environments remain safe and healthy. The main objective of OSH is to promote and maintain the physical, mental, and social well-being of workers by preventing work-related injuries, illness, and unsafe working conditions. In addition, the International Labour Organization recognizes a safe and healthy working environment as a fundamental principle and right at work. This highlights the responsibility of organizations to ensure safety and prevent occupational hazards. The application of OSH is particularly important in public marketplace because various activities take place within the same environment every day. Activities such as food handling, waste management, customers interactions, and the movement of goods may expose vendors, workers, customers, and visitors to physical, biological, chemical, ergonomic, and environmental hazards. Therefore, effective OSH practice are essential to reduce accidents, protect public health, and improve operational efficiency. Next, another important component of occupational safety and health is hazard identification and risk assessment. Hazard identification involves a recognized potential source of harm, while risk assessment evaluates the likelihood and severity of those hazards. Through this process, risk can be prioritized and appropriate control measures can be implemented before accidents or incidents occur. As a result, hazard identification and risk assessment plays a significant role in preventing injuries, protecting public health, and maintaining a safer working environment. Therefore, this case study aims to evaluate the safety and health conditions at Pasar Siti Khadijah, Kota Baru using occupational safety and health principle. The objective of this study are to identify potential hazards and unsafe conditions, assess the risks associated with daily activities, evaluate the suitability of the marketplace for its intended functions, and propose recommendations to improve overall safety performance. Pasar Siti Khadijah was selected as the case study location because it offers a suitable environment for evaluating occupational safety and health practices. The market involves various users, including traders, customers, cleaners, and tourists who interact within the same environment daily. Furthermore, activities such as food preparation, food handling, waste management, customer service, and manual handling operations may expose individuals to physical, biological, chemical, ergonomic, and environmental hazards. Therefore, the market provides an appropriate setting for examining workplace safety and health issues within a real-world public environment. That's all from me. Thank you, and I would now like to pass the presentation to the next presenter for site observation findings.
Hello everyone, my name is Afiq and I will be presented site observation finding at Pasar Siti Khadijah, Kota Baru, Kelantan. A site visit was carried out at Pasar Siti Khadijah to evaluate the general condition of the market as well as its occupational safety and health or OSHA practices. Overall, the condition of the market was observed to be good and is suitable as a major public marketplace. The market accommodates numerous vendors selling fresh produce, seafoods, meats, dry goods, and local products. Market making is an important commercial center for the local community and tourists. Based on observation, the layout of the market is generally suitable for business activities with different areas designed for specific categories of product. This arrangement facilitates customer movement within the market and promotes efficient market operations. However, due to the largest number of vendor and visitors congregation may occur, especially during the peak hour, weekends, and festive seasons. Several areas within the market were observed to be highly congested during the site visits. Goods, boxes, and baskets were found obstructing walkways, reducing available pedestrian space. This condition restricts movement and increase the likelihood of slips, trips, and collisions. The risk becomes greater during the rainy condition when the floor surface becomes wet and slippery. In addition, the narrow aisles may reduce accessibility for elderly individuals and persons with disabilities. Housekeeping activity and waste management practices were also observed throughout the market. Continuous cleaning and maintenance are required to maintain acceptable hygiene standards. If these activities are not carried out consistently, slippery floors and the accumulation of waste may be favorable condition for the growth of mosquitoes, bacteria, and other pests. On a positive note, the open design of the markets allow adequate natural lighting and ventilation. This contributes to a more comfortable environment for both vendors and customers while supporting daily market activities. Overall, the site observation finding indicated that Pasar Siti Khadijah is generally suitable for its intended function as a public marketplace. However, improvement related to curation, accessibility, housekeeping, and hygiene are still required to ensure a safer and healthier environment for all market users. That's all from me. Thank you. And I would now like to pass the presentation to net presenter for hazard identification and risk analysis.
Hello everyone, my name is Afrina Raslai and I will be presenting hazard identification and risk analysis. Based on the site observation conducted at Pasar Siti Khadijah, various physical, chemical, biological, environmental, and ergonomic hazards were identified. These hazards have the potential to affect the health, safety, and well-being of vendors, customers, cleaners, delivery workers, and visitors who use the market on a daily basis. For physical hazard, we observe wet and slippery floors caused by water accumulation, food residue, and blood from raw food products. We also identify broken floor tiles, damaged rain cover, obstructed walkways, crowded pathway, exposed shop equipment, coconut milk processing machine, and goods stored at elevated position. This condition increased the risk of slip, trips, falls, cut, and other physical injuries. For chemical hazard, Clorox was found to be stored near food products intended for sale. This practice may increase the risk of accidental contamination through leakage, spills, or improper handling, which could negatively affect food safety and public health. Several biological hazards were also identified, including flies surrounding food products, uncovered food items, food waste accumulation, blood residue on floor surface, the open sale of ill product, and the presence of a waste storage area. This condition may encourage microbial growth and increase the risk of foodborne disease. Environmental hazards observed during the site visit include scattered rubbish, damaged road and parking surface, overgrown vegetation, and poor drainage condition. This hazard may negatively affect environmental cleanliness, public comfort, and overall hygiene condition within the market. Finally, ergonomic hazards were identified through heavy lifting activities, repetitive manual handling, prolonged standing, awkward working posture, and restricted movement caused by crowded pathways. This condition may contribute to fatigue, physical discomfort, reduced work efficiency, and musculoskeletal disorder among workers. Based on our analysis, the identified hazard may affect several groups, including vendors, customers, cleaners, delivery workers, and visitors. Among these groups, vendors experience the highest level of exposure because they spend extended period within the market environment and are directly involved in handling goods, operating equipment, and serving customers. The potential consequences of this hazard including slip and falls, cut and wounds, food poisoning, bacterial infection, chemical contamination, musculoskeletal injuries, reduced operation efficiency, and negative impact on public confidence regarding food safety. These consequences may affect not only individual health and safety, but also the overall operation and reputation of the market. Based on the risk assessment conducted, wet and slippery floors, broken drain covers, shop equipment and machinery, Clorox stored near food products, flies surrounding food products, and food waste accumulation were classified as high-risk hazard due to their frequent occurrence and potentially serious consequences. Meanwhile, heavy lifting activities and damaged road and parking surface were classified as medium-risk hazard because they have lower frequencies of occurrence of less severe impact compared to high-risk hazard. Overall, the risk level at Pasar Siti Khadijah was assessed as moderated to high. Among all identified hazards, food hygiene hazard and slip and fall hazard were considered the most critical because they have a high likelihood of occurrence and may affect a large number of market users on a daily basis. Therefore, continuous monitoring, effective safety management practice, and appropriate control measures are necessary to reduce risk and improve the overall safety and health condition within the market environment. That's all from me. Thank you. And I will now like to pass the presentation to the next presenter for discussion on suitability and of the location.
Hello everyone, my name is Alia and I will be presenting discussion on suitability of the location, recommendations for improvement and conclusion. So based on the site observation and hazard assessment conducted at Pasar Siti Khadijah, Kota Baru, the market is generally suitable for its intended function as a public marketplace. So as one of the most well-known markets in Kelantan, it serves as an important commercial center where vendors sell fresh produce, fruits, seafoods, meat, dry goods, and prepared food for both local residents and tourists. So one of the main strengths of the market is the availability of facilities that support daily operations. So this includes designated selling areas, pedestrian pathway, drainage systems, equipment storage areas, and fire safety equipment. In addition, regular cleaning activities contribute to operational efficiency and help maintain a safer environment for market users. However, several weaknesses were identified during the assessment. Physical hazards such as wet floor, damaged surfaces, broken tiles, and damaged drain covers may increase the risk of slips, trips, and falls. Biological hazards, including food waste accumulation and the exposure of food products to flies, were also observed. Furthermore, ergonomic hazards such as repetitive lifting activities, manual material handling, and prolonged standing among vendors may affect the safety and health of market users. Several safety controls and management practices were observed during the inspection. These include safety signage such as keep the area clean and no smoking signs, fire safety equipment, routine cleaning activities, and designated waste disposal areas. However, the effectiveness of these controls was found to be inconsistent in certain areas. Some warning signs were not clearly visible, while poor housekeeping practices such as wet floors and food waste accumulation were still observed. Overall, while existing controls provide a basic level of protection, improvements in monitoring, maintenance, and housekeeping practices are still required to ensure a safer and more controlled market environment. Moving on to the recommendations for improvement, based on the findings obtained from the site observation and hazard assessment, several recommendations are proposed to improve the safety and health conditions at Pasar Siti Khadijah. These recommendations are developed according to the hierarchy of control approach to reduce risk and create a safer environment for all market users. Firstly, engineering controls should be implemented to address hazard at their source. Damaged floor surfaces, broken tiles, road pavements, and drain covers should be repaired immediately to reduce the risk of slips, trips, and falls among vendors, customers, and delivery workers. In addition, storage arrangements should be improved by providing proper spaces for machinery, goods, and unused materials. Overhead items should be securely stored, while wires and hoses should be kept away from walkways. So these measures can help minimize tripping hazard, movement obstruction, and the risk of falling object. Secondly, administrative controls should focus on strengthening workplace procedures and safety management practices. Good housekeeping should be maintained through regular cleaning activities and proper waste management. This measure can help reduce food waste accumulation, blood residues, drainage-related issues, and pest infestations. Food hygiene practices should also be improved by ensuring that food products are properly covered and that cleaning chemicals are stored separately from food areas. Furthermore, regular safety inspections should be conducted to identify hazards at an early stage and ensure that corrective actions are implemented promptly. And finally, the final level of hierarchy of control is personal protective equipment or PPE. Safety awareness programs should be conducted to improve vendors' and workers' understanding of safe manual handling practices, food hygiene, chemical handling, and hazard reporting procedures. In addition, appropriate PPE such as gloves, aprons, and non-slip footwear should be provided where necessary, particularly in food handling, cleaning, and wet working areas. The implementation of these recommendations can help reduce workplace hazards, improve hygiene standards, and create a safer and healthier environment for vendors, customers, and visitors at Pasar Siti Khadijah. The final section, which is conclusion. The findings from the site observation indicate that Pasar Siti Khadijah is generally well functioning as a public market and provides sufficient facilities to support daily commercial activities. However, several physical, chemical, biological, environmental, and economic hazards were identified during the assessment. These hazards have the potential to affect the safety, health, and well-being of market users if not properly controlled. Overall, Pasar Siti Khadijah presents a moderate level of risk, particularly in high traffic and poorly maintained areas. Nevertheless, the market remains suitable for its intended purpose, provided that appropriate safety improvements are implemented. Therefore, the recommended control measures should be applied to minimize risk, improve hygiene practices, and enhance the overall safety and health conditions within the market. By doing so, a safer, healthier, and more sustainable environment can be provided for vendors, customers, and all the market users. That is all from us.